All right, those of you on social media, we're getting ready to do this thing. Oh, okay. I thought that was me. But good evening to y'all. Coming in on social media. I just want to be happy. All right, getting ready to go. Okay. What you said?
She's rolling.
She rolling what?
You wait, your time.
Oh, it's my time.
We on TV, we rolling.
Nominate today online at
We ain't been doing this for 6 years. What's my title again?
Time to take over.
Nominate your favorite male course today. This is an SVP TV production.
Primetime TV at affordable rates, religious broadcasts,
Hey, Les,
talk shows, reality
we got to
TV,
break these sets up in the 6 different sets.
SVP TV Network. We're reaching your targeted audience 365 days of the year. SVP TV, fast-growing network serving over 300,000 households in the Big South, covering Tennessee
Look at
and the at affordable rates 7 days a week. Special rates starting as low as $80 for 30-minute broadcasts. SVP TV.
All right.
Just Comcast Cable Channel 31. Online at svptvnetwork.com. Get your breakfast.
See all y'all coming in from all over the country.
Come join our lineup today. Primetime TV at affordable rates.
SVPT, the voice of the city.
The views and opinions expressed on this talk show are those of the talk show hosts, the producers, and/or persons appearing on the program, and do not reflect the views and opinions of the SVP network. This program may include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
If you wanna know what's fabulous, if you wanna grow, ask fabulous, he will let you know, yeah. What's fabulous is the fabulous vacuum show. He's not afraid to tell the truth. He is the one who will inform you about all those jokers that are doing wrong. You cross the line and then it's on.
20 seconds.
Sometimes the other dude don't get it right. They don't get it right, and he does his homework every time. No news, world news, national news, he's gonna keep it tight.
You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just when you thought it was safe, it is absolutely, positively not. And good Monday evening to you. Well, that was a fast ass count, man. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, but I'm here. And good Monday evening to you. Hoping that your weekend has been simply marvelous. No matter what it is that you've been doing all weekend long. It's going to be a very controversial tonight. I'm going to deal with some politics. I'm going to let you know that the Shelby County Democratic Party here in Memphis ain't what the little bird left on the fence. And you Negroes in this town that still want to vote just because I'm a Democrat, you better vote for people who are going to do you a service. I'm going to have a gentleman on later on in the program that many of y'all think we enemies, and that's Latroy Williams, and he's going to talk about how he's been violated by the Shelby County Democratic Party, and just talk about some of the crooks that's in the Shelby County Democratic Party. And I hope you're ready to call names tonight, Latroy, and talk about all them no good ass folk that's in the Shelby County Democratic Party that's deceiving you. And I want you to know that the Democratic Party is a broke organization. It's an organization that cannot even help Negroes who call them, and the white folks who call themselves Democrats. You can't, they don't even have no money to help anybody as in their organization. I'm gonna deal with a lot of that. And I want you to get your pencil and paper out. Those of you who are going to be voting, I want you to get your pencil and paper out. And because I'm gonna give you the names of people you need to vote for when you go to the polls. But first of all, I got to clear something up. And out of all my years in broadcasting, I've never had to make an announcement like this. And I've made some strange announcements over the years. A man that was dead ain't dead no more. Right. On, was it Thursday or Friday night? Friday night, I announced that professional wrestler Brickhouse Brown was dead. I got 2-3 calls, and one wrestler that I know well, Reggie B. Fine, called me. Brickhouse gone, man. He gone. Fought a good fight. Brickhouse is dead. I said, oh man, Brickhouse is dead. And I announced till Friday night that Brickhouse was dead. But it appears that this wrestler has kicked out. That he ain't dead no more. So turn this thing up, Les. I'm gonna call Reggie B. Fine and let Reggie tell us how he ain't dead no more. Wait a minute, let me see if I got it coming through. Now, I told him to be available.
Please leave your message for
Reggie. Reggie, this is Thaddeus. Now, you done told us that the man was dead. I announced the man was dead. Now, I need you to call back. Oh, here he is. Reggie.
Yes, sir.
We live on the air.
I didn't do it, whatever it was, I did not do it.
All right, I've known Reggie a long time. He's a professional wrestler, traveled all over the country. Reggie, you called me
Yes,
Friday.
sir.
Now, I had already seen it, sorry, brother, on Facebook. Then you called me and told me that professional wrestler Brickhouse Brown was dead. Did you not tell me that?
Oh, yeah.
Then I'm at home.
Yeah, I told
I'm resting yesterday evening. Then I'm going through my Facebook and I see you live saying that Brickhouse Brown ain't dead no more.
Sound crazy on the board.
All right, so Brickhouse, please tell us how Brickhouse ain't dead no more.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the whole story, bro. Man, his mom been in cahoots for the last year and a half ever since he been sick. I never met the lady. Every time I go to Jackson, Mississippi, to visit Brickhouse, she done been in Jezebel, or she done been down here. She live in Pensacola, Florida. Somewhere down there on the other end of Florida. But anyway, she come in town for the last year and a half. And like I said, when I go to see Brickhouse, she always be gone, but she don't want us real close to Brickhouse. So she called me about maybe 10 minutes to 3 on I think I've only been about 2 or 3 days now, I think.
Friday?
And I said, far in, she said, well, let everybody know that, she said, you can let everybody know that the brick house is gone. That my, brick house is passed. And I said, huh? You know, cause he been sick for the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So she told me to go on in there, let all his friends know, cause you know, brick house got thousands of fans. And, so I put the word out, and then she called, my other, white dude I know named, not being racist, but another guy I know named Brian, and this dude remember named Johnny Dodson.
Right.
So I thought, all this get out like it's supposed to be, blah, 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 blah. So, by me not knowing when somebody passed away, they got to call, you know, the coroner and the priest and all that. So she said the priest was there.
She said, wait a minute.
On.
She said, wait a minute, Britt, I mean, not Britt, Reggie. She said that the priest was there.
Yeah, the priest was all, you know, how they said 3 words.
He wasn't no Catholic.
Oh, I don't know what book out there, man.
Okay, so
Well, anyway.
okay, go ahead.
That was just people at the hospital system there, you know. I don't know how it worked those days. And like I said, I'm letting y'all know, we don't keep you on that live. I'm telling all your fans and everything, I'm telling you the truth, what was told to me. But anyway, she said all that day, all that morning that day, just laying in the bed, eyes in the back of the head, mouth wide open. You know, hadn't said nothing in hours.
He was dead.
So, that's what she said.
She said he was dead. Okay.
Yeah, that's what she said. When she let everybody know, she called me and let me know, because I talked to her, you know, like, you know, on the regular. But me, myself, I think it's something else. I'm not, hold on, I'm going too fast. Let me finish this, George. What was said, that put it on the internet, that everybody know the brick house gone. If they want to send flowers or cards or anything, I'm going to give you another address to send, you know, let them send it to my house. That's what my address was. All right, now listen to this part. So about 2 or 3 hours later, she called me back. And she called me at 5 o'clock. No, she told me, hold on, let me get this right. I called her back at 10 o'clock that next day. I said, well, have you made any plans or anything? She said, no, Cheetah, she called me Cheetah. She said, no, Cheetah woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. He had been out all the miles had been out. And no priest or no doctor pronounced up there or nothing she said. But at 5 o'clock that morning, he woke up and said, Mama, you over there coughing, and I'm hungry. And, you know, she said she just got straight up off the couch, but, you know, I guess she was in the hospital on that couch. But she never left her side in the last 2 months. And when she told me that, man, I already jumped off. I got up. I said, man, what did you just say? He said, Sheila is still here with us. I said, well, why would you tell me that he had passed on? She said, well, I thought he did. Without getting no consent or nothing from the doctor. Well, I'm thinking, she's 75 years old. This was me another one of my partners came up with. She's 75 years old. And she's been down out here now for about a week or 2. I think the lady is getting a little, I don't know if she's getting tired or something kicking in. I don't know what's going on.
Tired of him being alive. Tired of him being alive.
I don't know, man. I think she's getting tired in general. But she's, you know, bouncing around. She always saying, well, I got to pay somebody $8 to $10 every time I leave the hospital and go back to his apartment. But he got an apartment down there. So I got to pay that, my money, I'm on a fixed income, blah, 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 blah. And the reason I was saying that is that the guy was saying that, she always said something about, when I'm going to give you another address so you can send it to him. I mean, that you can get it on Facebook. It's before he came back there. I don't know, Rick one never did. He never did that, That's all it is. That's all the clue I got. But I'm right in the middle of this shit, so I had to go straighten up.
Wait a minute, Reggie. So, he never was dead.
Rick, I couldn't have been out. You gonna die and then come back 8 hours later. Now, listen, my miracle can happen. But if he was dead, do you think they would have came and took him out of the room? I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together at the time. When she told me that, it was like, you know, that's my dog, man. I've been doing brick out for 37 years. 37 years we've been wrestling together in Memphis, Chicago, Dallas. We were tag team partners for a good 15 years. And I know everything about that, man. Ain't nothing I don't know about brick out, ain't nothing you don't know about me. We done did a lot of shit was good, and we done did a lot of things that was bad. You know, ain't nobody perfect. But see, for the longest, my man was out there, he was out there. You know, he was out there on the gimmicks for a long time. You know what the gimmicks is.
Right.
Yeah, he was out there smoking, drinking, everything in the book for many, many years, and burnt a lot of bridges.
But wait a minute. So, wait a minute, but Reggie, when the mama called you, she said he was dead, he was gone on,
Yeah,
okay?
he was gone, yeah.
But, see, my question, the first question I had, when I heard you yesterday, was how come the Undertaker had never came? Cause if the Undertaker had came, it wouldn't have made no difference whether he was dead for real or not, he'd been dead by now, okay? But the mama said he was just laying in the hospital bed. And he woke up and he said he was hungry.
He was hungry, and while you over there coughing, while you sniffing and coughing like that. That was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning that happened.
Yeah, because if he had been dead for real, so the doctors never pronounced him dead.
Right, she did. And she just told me to let everybody know that, you know, Rick House from past, and, you know, let all his friends and things. You know, when I said that little statement, I had like a 2-minute, 3-minute spiel. You know, it's not boring, man. Like I said, I wouldn't go around about advertising. I've been outside there since he's been sick. So I wouldn't make that spiel. And about 2 or 3 minutes spiel I did on Facebook, over 3,000 and some odd people had commented on that within that little time.
Well, one of the comments I saw on your page was somebody told me that they told you rather to tell Brickhouse that he still owed them $200, and before he dived in, for you to get to $200 now.
Damn.
But I'm glad he's still here. And maybe he was just sleeping. You think he was just sleeping?
They said it might have been in a coma or something where everybody was talking like the ladies were talking like they had, you know, they pump you for the morphine. See, Brickhouse used to be 260 pounds, now he's about 130 or 40 pounds now.
Okay.
Laying in that bed. And a lot of them, I talked to one of his ex-wives today, she went up there to see him. And she told me that he just sleeping, you know, every now and then he would wake up and look around. But I got this from another horse's mouth, because they let her see him for him being his wife. Mm-hmm. But they still legally married, I think. But she found out, she went up there and she called me. That's the only reason I know that he's still living. You know, she sent me a picture and everything. But I'm gonna just like bag up off of this thing, man. As my one, and the Lord, he's gonna take him away from here, because he's very, very sick. Mm-hmm. You know, ain't nothing you can do about fourth-stage prostate cancer, bro. They can do everything for you. Don't get me wrong. It might be a miracle. He might have been dead and came back. I don't know.
Well, the doctor didn't say he was dead, and they wouldn't let him lay in the bed dead for 8 hours. They would remove him from the room. Undertaker would have had it. But it's a good thing that they didn't think he was dead, and the Undertaker got it, because some Undertakers, you know, and I've been an Undertaker for a long time. He wouldn't have got up. They'd have got him there, and, you know, if he had woke up while he was on that embalming table, you know, it would have been lights out. Okay.
They went on finishing him.
Okay.
Let me tell you the rest of the story what happened today. Like I said, he was everybody thinking that his mom is tired. Like I said, she developed, and I don't think she got no all the time, but the lady is strong as Hercules to be 75 years old. She still got all her marble. And she's the type of woman, I asked her, do you want me to go back on Facebook and let everybody know that he's all right? You know what she told me?
What?
I wouldn't even worry about it, Rick. I wouldn't worry about it, Rick. I wasn't trying to go back to the statement that I did, I said. You know, don't worry about that. Just be like everything like it is. And I said to myself, huh? And then I thought, no, I got to straighten this up. I don't want nobody, you know, mess with my credibility, because me and Brickhouse, like I said, ain't never did nothing to me over everybody in the world, even me. But like I said, you forgive people, but you don't forget.
Yeah.
The Lord will get out with people, you know. People around here doing things that ain't got no business, or everything that they say is wrong. Some things that they say is wrong is right. And including why, you know, you looking at it. But one thing I know for sure, that Brickhouse is still living. I heard on Mama a little bit, because after getting the phone, you know, when you on that morphine, I guess you in and out. And, you know, But she said he's still living, he's eating ice or something. And then, he went back to sleep, but they can't do it, doesn't be comfortable, he got him in hospice. And in other words, I jumped the gun when she told me that, instead of being 100, I wasn't gonna question the lady, I wanna make sure it was 100% legit before I said anything, but I didn't do that. So in other words, I put the burden.
I mean, but when your mama call you and tell you, somebody's mama call you and tell you they dead, you usually won't believe that the mama know that their child dead or not.
And
But-
it was so bad, I had, when she told me that, and I called back the next day when they said he was alive, I had one of his ex-wives on the phone, and she repeated everything that she told me. And, I got a witness in case the witness won't leave, but she heard everything that his mama said. So that everybody know I wasn't bullshitting, talking about it's gone, and it's all on the Rapture magazine, it's all on the news in Memphis. You know how that makes a person look, man, like, what the fuck are they doing? They trying to get money, trying to get something. That's what I'm thinking is going down with his mom and her head, maybe. I'm not sure.
You don't think the mama was trying to set no GoFundMe, do you?
I don't even know if she did that or not, dog. To be honest with you. Cause like I said, if something do happen to my boy, somebody other than her, she can call and tell me that. But I'm gonna have to find out from another 2 or 3 sources I got going over there.
Well, the next time, he died, make sure he dead before y'all call me,
Anybody.
Make sure he gone, make sure he at the funeral home, cause he at the funeral home, I know he ain't coming back.
Right, and over 50,000, 100,000 people that hit different websites on Brickhouse. By me starting that rumor, well, his mama started the rumor, by me spreading it like that, and I wasn't sure what was, I'm just going by what she told me, dog. It's just like you come up to me and say, hey, man, Reggie, be fine, I got $1 million, I'm gonna get you, man, I want you to do this show. And all of a sudden, I get there and do the show, you give me $100. And then I tell everybody, he's pumping me $1 million. It's just, it's kind of
All
crazy.
right, Reggie, I gotta go.
Okay.
We found out he ain't dead. He's still here amongst us. But like I said, I did want to clarify that because I did announce on Friday night that the man was dead.
Oh, you and everybody else, Channel 3, Channel 5, everybody I heard that Memphis did that. I live in Dallas. So I'm not going back to Jackson. I don't want to see my boy like that. No, I seen him 2 weeks ago. They weren't looking good, so I don't want to go back down there. But I hear everything else that is true, like you said, it's gonna be coming from 2 or 3 other people. I ain't gonna
Well, the next time he died, touch him, shake him, wake him or something, and see if he gonna move or groan or say something. We need to be sure the next time that he dead for good. Okay. All right, thank you, professional wrestler Reggie B. Fine. All right, thank you, Reggie.
Yes, sir. Y'all be cool, man.
All right, Reggie B. Fine, and so Brickhouse Brown ain't dead. He's still alive, laying up there, laid up there with his mouth wide open. His mama thought he was dead, and I don't know why his mama was just laying there and didn't call the Undertaker people. But said he woke up about 5 o'clock the next morning and said he was hungry. So it's a joke I could make that, but I'm gonna be nice and not say what I was gonna say right there. But he's not dead. So let me move on to what we're gonna be dealing with tonight. I'm dealing politically tonight, and this is something that can be used to those of you who are all around this country. In our communities, and especially in the Black community, when it comes to politics and people who are in office and people who want to be in office, it's time for us as a people to take over. It's time in all of our cities around the country for us to make the decision, for us to set the agenda for all of these politicians. As I look at the upcoming race, and as I told you, I don't support anybody that does not support me. That's plain and simple. I've got the largest mass media television program in the Mid-South as a black man. And when a black politician bypasses me and you take your money to white folk, you on my do-do list. You on the list. I see politicians who are running, and there are people who are running that never have opposition. Okay? They just run and they do what they want to do. Then I'm looking at people who are running, and they don't even have enough respect for you to advertise. Not just with me, they ain't advertising with nobody. I look at my girl Wanda Hammond. How you gonna run for clerk countywide and you have no advertisement? You have no advertisement at all. Not just me, nowhere. You get these politicians who want to run based on who they used to be, what their name is. It's time out for us in the community, whether you're black or white, to allow politicians to do whatever it is that they want to do and totally disrespect the people. I was speaking with a gentleman in my office, Pastor Demetrius Beecham, all the way, excuse me, all the way from Temple, Texas. Him and Stephen Davis came by the church, and they watched me down in that area. He ran for, in Temple, Texas, I think he says about 8,000 people, with the majority being black, and they wouldn't vote for him because you're comfortable with what the white folks say. White folk tell you what to do, you do what white folk tell you to do. I'm going to Temple, Texas very shortly. I'm going up there on a Friday night. We got to set the date, and I'm going to Texas. And I'm going to take that same message I had yesterday at church, bullshit from the pulpit. I'm taking that to Texas. But see, it's a whole lot of bullshit going on in our politics. When I look at some of these folks who are running for office, they have no business running for office at all. They have no agenda that is going to benefit the people of our community. Some of you just vote Democrat. I ain't gonna be no Republican. Well, damn. Okay, why? Why is it, first of all, why is it that we as black folk have not created our own party? And then why is it that you want to stay loyal to a party that ain't doing a damn thing for you? Or giving you some damn EBT cards and give you some Section 8, give you the handouts, but economically empowering you, the Democratic Party is not doing it. And when I see folk like Lee Harris is a token water boy. White folk control this token Negro. This Negro, whose only thing that I saw him do while he was in the state was make sure that the men and the women could go to the same bathroom. Transgenders, okay. But what has he done for the people? You get these white organizations, Memphis Tomorrow, Memphis Now, all of these organizations that are controlled by white power brokers in our community, and they go and handpick these Negroes who have agendas and have visions of grandeur, that the white man has placed his blessings on me, so I'm gonna be okay. I got to do my master's bidding. That's what you get in Lee Harris. I must urge you tonight, if you have not voted, do not vote for this water-carrying Negro who has no agenda. This is a Negro who said he has no problem in raising your taxes. He voted for a $6 million reduction for the police department. He would not vote for the funding of the Second Chance program. Why do we need to give this Negro a chance at all? Well, you saying vote for the white man? Yes, sir. I'd rather vote for the white man than vote for that Negro I know is going to mistreat me and put a knife in my back. Yeah, I'm supporting David Lenore. First of all, he had enough sense to support the Thaddeus Matthews show. He brought me some money. Okay, this token Negro, when I like he didn't know I'm on TV. What Negro in his right mind in this city don't know that I'm on TV? No, he got mad because when he was running for the city council a few years ago, and he had bought some advertising. But I deal straight down the middle. Your buying advertising does not protect you from the truth. This Negro did not live where he's in the district. So I talked about it. Then a bunch of sissies show up at my radio station. Sissies, real sissies. I ain't talking about no plate sissies. Real sissies, white sissies. Didn't even send me no black sissies. White sissies showed up, switching and things, had on the women clothes, showed up at my radio station. Don't you mess with Lee. You leave Lee alone. We love Lee. I guess y'all do. He done got y'all in the same bathroom now as the rest of the people. Okay, now I got to wonder about that now. I swear for God I do. Now when the sisters come for a man, makes me kind of wonder about something. Now y'all know I'm telling the damn truth. The sisters show, I swear for God and everybody that worked at my radio station. We thought we was about to fight. Don't fight they sister asses like they was men too. Cause one little sister tried to take off his shoes. You know how women do when they kick off their shoes to get ready to fight. Well, this sister was ready to kick. I said, and white sisters, where all these white? I didn't know we had that many white sisters in town. Bunch of white sisters showed up, and sisters, I ain't mad at you. I'm not talking about sisters. I mean, if you're a sister, you're a sister. But usually, and right, I mean, if you want to be a sister, be a sister. But I'm talking about here's a man that sends sisters to me to defend him. You leave Lee alone. Leave Lee alone. Leave him alone. You better leave Lee alone. Don't bother Lee no more. I said, well, damn, okay. We better leave that boy. I mean, well, we better leave him alone. But here's what I'm saying to you. Lee Harris is not the man. David Lenore, he was your tax collector. At least we know he can count. Okay? And see, here's what you got to understand about the county sheriff. The county mayor. The county mayor does not even have the length of power that the city mayor does. Really, all that a county mayor is an administrator. He cannot spend more, I think it's more than $50,000 he's got to get the approval of the county commission. No one that is elected on the county side has to say anything to him. The sheriff, the sheriff has, you don't have to get the mayor's approval for anything. So what I am telling you, if you have not voted, do not vote for this Waller carrier. He's who the white power brokers have purchased. They bought this Negro with a price. They purchased this Negro. He's the Negro that they want in office so that the county will be under their rule. He's going to follow their rules, their guidelines. He's going to do what the good white folks said. So I can't support a Waller carrying Negro. Do not. Well, I don't want to vote for David Lenore. Well, don't vote for nobody in that race then. Okay? But definitely don't vote for that man that came, sent all them sisters to my radio station. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. He's out. I don't know what it was, but we cannot vote for him. One other thing that I want a commercial break. Floyd Bonner Jr. Give this man your vote. Give him your support. Floyd Bonner would be the first elected black sheriff that we've ever had in Shelby County. He will be the highest ranking law enforcement officer in the county. He has more power than the police director, okay? Let's vote for a man who's been there, what did he tell me, 35, almost 40 years. He's worked in every department. He's worked in the jail. Ladies and gentlemen, we need nobody else in that position but Floyd Bonner Jr. You've heard me say that the Shelby County Democratic Party is a nothing happening organization. I got a man in here tonight, and some of y'all think me and Latroy fight all the time, and we have had our battles, okay? But it ain't personal with me in politics. You know, I don't like you this election, I might like you the next election, okay? But he's been done wrong by the Democratic Party. You're gonna find out some things, and I've told Latroy Williams, don't hold back tonight. You will not, he's running for Congress, but you will not find his name on the ballot. Why? Because Democrats, in particularly black Democrats with that Shelby County Democratic Party, did not want him in office. They don't want him running against Master Cohen. And if y'all think Steve Cohen loves you, y'all some of the damnedest fools in the world as Negroes. Oh yeah, he'll buy you some handkerchief head preachers. He'll show up in your churches. He probably ain't really campaigning right now because Latroy's name is not on the ballot. Charlotte Bergman, that's a joke, okay? Charlotte and I had our fight while I was on radio. She got all the white folk across the country upset with me when I was on the radio because I called her out for what she was, okay? And I don't back down. Had 3,000 white folk sent a letter to the LCC to get me off the air. And the LCC said, we can't tell that man what he can and can't say, okay? And I got a right to my opinion. It's time out that we keep on allowing people who do not serve in our interest. Let me tell you something, I will give my vote to a white man that has an agenda that involves me versus that Negro that I know is a water carrier that has no intentions of serving me. When we come back from our commercial break, my guest will be M. Latroy Williams. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Legal matters. You want
All right.
a judge that knows the law. That's
What's wrong with you?
That's an honor. And that's what you'll get in Yolanda Pike, who presently serves since 2015 as a Shelby County magistrate.
I'm about to scoot down this way.
Is a graduate of Hamilton High School. Lamar Park.
Oh,
College and the Cecil C. Humphrey School of Law at the University of Memphis. She spent 13 years in private practice.
you think you got enough information?
Family law, divorces, probate, bankruptcy, personal injury, real estate, and business transactions. Yolanda is more than prepared to serve the citizens of Shelby County as circuit court judge in the
Let's see what we're looking like.
on August 2nd, vote
Who wear Jordan?
Circuit Court Judge Division 9. Early voting has already started and ends July 28th. You got it right.
We got that up kind of high there.
Paid for by the committee to elect Yolanda Pike Judge, Dana Porter, Treasurer.
You gonna check
That
that?
damn jam, you about to get your ass put off the page.
You gonna check that mic?
Speaking to the, oh, you gonna check it?
Check your mic, sir.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Huh?
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Being smart on crime is not locking everyone away. It is increasing sentences for violent criminals and finding alternatives for others. I continue to fight for equal opportunities for minority businesses, such as those in the barber, natural hair, and cosmetology industry. Please, vote with urgency to ensure that our communities receive the strong, courageous voice that we need in nation. Again, I'm State Representative Antonio Parkinson. I thank you for your support.
Okay, that damn jam, you gone. I'm the only somebody that goes off on the damn page. Bye.
When I see on the news where a young person's been shot or sent to prison, I think that could have been one of my kids. One of the young men that I coached at Manassas. That's why I volunteered to coach. And that's why I'm running for county mayor, because we need more after-school programs. We need to invest in our schools and our youth. We need a mayor who will fight every day to keep gangs, drugs, and violent criminals away from our kids. I'm David Lenore, and I'm asking you to join our team. Together, we can build a safer, stronger Shelby County.
When you look at the word service, integrity, and accessibility, the definition always comes back. State Representative Barbara Cooper of District 86. Barbara Cooper works tirelessly for the citizens of District 86. She returns calls. She holds town hall meetings. She works to get results, not just photo ops and parades. Not only does she sponsor legislation, but she holds community meetings to keep
All right, I'm back.
citizens
Hold it, you
informed.
going to-
She held a series of meetings on matters transportation, expungement clinics, property tax assistance, meetings on drugs and crime and jobs in the district. Her record of service is undeniable, not just for District 86, but for all of the state of Tennessee.
No, I belong to the right person. Anybody that's raising hell on this page, other than me, you're gone. I don't give a damn who you are.
And then tell him, I'm voting for proven service and a proven servant. Barbara Cooper has sponsored 63 bills and co-sponsored 818 bills. Vote August 2nd to re-elect Barbara Cooper, State Representative, District 86. Early voting starts
Out the
July
Mid-South, bring me back.
Paid for by friends of Barbara Cooper.
His father was a Memphis police officer. Fighting crime was in Floyd Bonner's.
Well, bring me back after Bonner.
In
Bring me
his
back after
47
this.
years in the sheriff's office, Floyd Bonner has made a difference as an undercover officer, head of narcotics, and today as chief deputy.
10 seconds.
That's why he's been endorsed by Sheriff Bill and nearly every public safety organization. Because Floyd Bonner is ready to be our next sheriff and committed to keeping the people of Shelby County safe.
You got 5,
Floyd
4,
Bonner,
3,
Radio Day
2.
1.
And make sure that you do give your vote to Floyd Bonner for Sheriff of Shelby County. Tell all of your friends, tell all of your neighbors, tell everybody that you know that Floyd Bonner is the person that we need. In the House, first time on any of my programs ever. I don't think you ever, were you ever on my radio shows?
I think once we had a conversation.
Okay. M. Latroy Williams, and you got to talk into this. Latroy is running for Congress. Latroy has ran for every damn thing, but now he's running for Congress. Steve Cohen has been there now, was it almost 20 years?
He'd been in politics for 38 years, but he'd been there for 12.
For 12 years, seems like forever. You were running against, or you are running, but your name is not on the ballot. Why, Latroy, is your name not on the ballot for this election?
Well, first, Mr. Matthews, I want to thank you for this opportunity.
Mhm.
I want you to understand that this is not a privilege, but it's an honor. for me
Well,
to
thank
be
you,
here
sir.
And be before you and have this opportunity to discuss this particular subject matter.
Okay.
But due to the proclivity of this subject matter,
The pro who?
the proclivity,
Good, go on then.
I want you to understand that I would like to offer a little background, a
Okay.
little scenario about basically what happened
Mhm.
while we are here, or where we are today.
Mhm.
First of all, I just say that I've been a part of the Democratic Party for some 45 years, ever since I was 15, going on 16 years
Mhm.
old. I started with Hubert Humphrey and George McGovern back in '68 when they were fighting against George Wallace.
Mhm.
To give you an example of the Democratic Party, the Democratic National Committee,
Mhm.
or the Democratic National Committee, they endorsed George Wallace for president. George Wallace was part of the American
Is this
Party.
mic going in and out?
I don't mean.
Okay.
George,
I need to talk directly into the mic.
George Wallace was a candidate for the American Party. And the American Party was a racist organization in the South that once, you remember Jack Owens, he was a part of the American Party. But the National Democratic Committee, or the Democratic National Committee, endorsed George Wallace for president.
Okay.
The National Democratic Party of Alabama endorsed George Wallace for president. Hubert Humphrey and George McGovern decided, said, well, they didn't want to be part of a racist party. So that's when I started into politics, 16 years old. Later on, George McGovern and Hubert Humphrey decided to start their own party, the National Democratic Party of the USA. And it went defunct back in 1981, and that's where I picked up the National Democratic Party of the USA in 1981. And I held on to it because at that time...
Now, explain to the audience what you mean when you say you picked it up.
What I did, it was dissolved, and it was out of business. And what I did, I went and registered, put it in back in the National Democratic Party, and select different officers to become the director of the organization. At the same time, I was basically publishing a magazine called Sugar.
So you own the name to what? You own the rights?
I own the rights and the name to the National Democratic Party of the USA.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. From that, I made a prediction that at that time in 1981, that Mayor Harrington would become Memphis' first black mayor within a decade. So in 1991, Mayor Harrington became the Memphis mayor. I used that same biography of the National Democratic Party of the USA to endorse him, and he helped him, along with Bill Atkins and Leo Gray and others. And we was able to become victorious. I set it back in the safe until 2010, when at that point I decided that what we was going to do, we was going to use the ballot and the organization to elect Democrats who we felt that were good for our community, including people like Senator Jim Cowles, John DeBerry. Whalen would have won that year, but what happened was he decided not to get on the ballot, and Woods came and wanted to be on the ballot, so we put Woods on the ballot, and Woods beat Whalen. So since that time, it put fear, a lot of fear in the minds of a lot of, especially white Democrats. But you see, these are not white Democrats, these are Dixiecrats. They're not Democrats, they're Dixiecrats. You only have two legislators, or two candidates, or two elected officials in Shelby County that are Democrats who are white.
And who was that?
Senator Jim Cowles, who is a judge now, and Sarah Cowles. The rest of them are Dixiecrats, plain and simple. As you use the term plain and simple, plain and simple. So what we have to do as an organization, because of that, they like to play into the game of getting blacks who are willing to accept anything, as Mark Clayton said, become another slave. Mark Clayton said it exactly right. He said, you know, the only thing the whites in the Democratic Party want in the state of Tennessee and Shelby County is blacks who want to be a slave. They want to be told what to do. So this kind of Sambos, and as some people call them, Uncle Toms, but actually they're Sambos,
Right.
And Auntie Mamas, no exception. They just cream and crop the whole organization, play games and work along these people when the Shelby County Democratic Party is 82% black, 3 or 4% Mexicans, and about 12 or 13% white, and a few percent others. But you see, what people fail to realize and understand is that the whites in the Democratic Party, especially the ones in Germantown, they hate, they nothing but hate. They hate because of the fact they look at you and say, look, you're not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be like Milton. You're supposed to be like Van Turner. You're supposed to be like some of these other candidates.
Good niggas.
You're not supposed to know what you know. You're not supposed to do what you do. You're defending the party. You know, hey, look, you know, you're not supposed to do these things. And I'm saying, look, we as a people got to stand up for what is right. And we're 82% blacks, then the majority of the positions in the organization should be black, and the county itself should have positions that are color. Now, in a district, it's okay to give you a district that you live in that is majority white, but why should we give up where we're the minority? I mean, where we're the majority. It's foolish. Because when you look at the fact, why don't you give us one of those congressional seats? You got 11 in the state of Tennessee. Not one is black, but it was one that was set up.
Right.
So,
And let's go there. And many people may not realize that the 9th Congressional District, which holds the largest amount of African Americans in the state, was designed for black leadership so that we could have at least one congressman that was black from this state.
exactly true.
You remember when Dr. Harrison ran and the slogan came up, just one. And that's where that slogan came from, because it's a disservice to black folk in the 9th Congressional District that you think that your leader, that your master is supposed to be a white man that don't give a damn about you. And I'm talking about Steve Cohen. Go on with your point.
In 2007 and 8, I was talking to Maxine and Vasco. Me and my wife used to frequently visit them. And they was talking about, well, Congressman Cohen is only going to do 3 terms, 6 years, and that'll be it. But I asked the question, I said, Vasco, I said, name me one thing that Congressman Cohen has done that's economically feasible for the black community. He couldn't name it. So that reminded me of what you just said. When you said that they brought in people into your office and tried to define, I mean, just go off on you about Lee Harris. The same thing similar happened to me. In 2008, I was running against Paul McClure. The organization was trying to pass a resolution that says no discrimination against gays and lesbians in the workforce. Over 300 people was there. I object to it. Not because of the fact that I was against gays and lesbians. I went to jail for gays and lesbians during the 60s when I was 15, 16 years old. I went to jail for them. So it wasn't that, it was the fact that, number one, when you look at the overall apparatus, you have to think to yourself and say, a bill to be passed by the Democratic Party says no discrimination against gays and lesbians in the workforce. Why the bill cannot read no discrimination against anyone in the workforce? Okay. So when I mentioned that, that all I asked him to do was to amend the bill, because I'm the only one stood up and object to it. I decided him to amend the bill to allow black men and black women into that bill, because black men and black women have a harder time in their body in the world. Okay. So they objected and passed it anyway. Overwhelmed. But the following week, Chisholm and Harvey followed through and they passed the bill in the county. Said no discrimination against anyone in the workforce. That's the bill that I wanted, but the Democratic Party wanted to make it single. Okay. And I thought that was wrong. But anyway, make a long story short, the point I'm trying to make is that in the process of that, everybody thought, because in the Democratic Party, what you have is Republican wives, you see, in the Democratic Party. These are Republicans who, they figure that the best way to deal with the Democratic Party is to let their wives move to the Democratic Party to keep up with what's going on. If you notice, the leadership in the Democratic Party, the whites, mainly, I know when I was on the executive committee, was married to a Republican. Now, I hold no grudge against the Republican Party, per se, you understand? Because you have to do business in the business world, and it's business. But the point that I'm trying to make is that these particular people come in, they have an agenda. And the agenda does not fit African Americans. It doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. But they're able to funnel money to some of the blacks, and that way they're able to buy them off and sell out. And in the Democratic Party, you don't have I doubt if you have any blacks that has any real serious credibility is left.
Okay, but when we look at the Shelby County Democratic Party, what benefit does the party presently serve to Democrats? It's broke, it has no money, it has no structure. What purpose does the Shelby County Democratic Party serve? And then we're gonna get into why you're not on the ballot. But what purpose does the party serve?
The party really and truly is the minority, but you have some good people in the party. You have a few, as you call, a few good Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to even use the term Negro. I want to say you got a few good African Americans who basically feel that the party is the party for the people. And you see, the way I've always looked at the party itself, I've always said that the Democratic Party is not an organized party. It's about democracy. And that's the way I took it. But now, this process has made a change. Mm-hmm. The Democratic Party is full of people who have their own agenda and their own culture. And so therefore, that is detrimental to the black community because we're the majority, but we get less. I mean, nothing is happening that calls black people to gain at this point in the Democratic Party.
So why are you not on the ballot?
The reason that I'm not on the ballot is because of what I was just telling you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy because the whites in the Democratic Party, from Germantown to East Memphis to downtown, they feel that Latroy Williams is the only black in this town that can stand up and that can speak and be able to maneuver and make things happen for black people. And they resent that. They resent the fact, as De'Armond Bailey said to Mr. Donati and Mr. Layton and to Mr. Cohen. He said, look, he said, you all are trying to muzzle M. Latroy Williams because he speaks truth to power. He said, I'm not going to allow you all to do this. Then Mr. Donati said, Your Honor, you don't know who Latroy Williams is. Latroy Williams can make anybody win. He can make anybody win. All we ask Latroy Williams to do is not endorse Charlotte Berger for Congress. Mm-hmm. So that led me to believe that if the Republican Party didn't come in and try to help with what I was doing, I know that they're working together. So I've concluded that the Republican Party and the Democratic Party work together. They both, their whole apparatus is to eliminate and to keep black people down. Serious.
I mean, we know that's the system. That's the system all over the country. But if you go to the Election Commission and pull a application to run for Congress, how was the local party able to keep you from being on the ballot?
It wasn't the local party.
Mm-hmm.
It was Miss Mancini, who was a lowlife, who...
Now, who is Miss Mancini?
Miss Mancini is the chairman of the Democratic Party, but she's a lowlife. What she did, you see, in 2014, Congressman Steve Cohen, once again, he had been following me, he had been paying people to keep up with me. He's done everything they use in this country to try to hurt me every way that is possible, you see. So what he finally did, because we was helping Ricky Wilkerson for Congress in 2014.
Okay.
And so what he said, what he called a television station called Channel 13. And he said to the people at Channel 13 that M. Latroy Williams is running an advertisement that says the Democratic National Committee endorsed Ricky Wilkerson for Congress. And it was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we said.
Mm-hmm.
The ad said the National Democratic Party of USA endorsed Ricky Wilkerson.
Okay.
So,
I don't know how that's that.
So,
go ahead.
So what actually happened was this. After he said that to 13, I had about $7,000 off advertising that was still owed to me. They pulled the ad, and it hurt a lot of the judges.
Okay.
Like Sue Burrow, she could have won. About 5 or 6 of them could have won, but by Steve Cohen pulling that advertisement, and not only did he do that, he filed an injunction that hurt a lot of people. And the injunction was to stop me from mailing out, the ballots. We had 200,000 ballots down at the post office to be mailed out, to cover for, Ricky Wilkinson and other that was on there, quite a few candidates. And the post office wouldn't mail them because he bought that injunction in, you see. And this was, when the election's on Thursday, the ballot would have hit the homes Tuesday and Wednesday, you see, which would have been good. And the TV advertising was running all through the weekend, but it stopped on Friday. And 5 had to do the same thing. They stopped, and 3 had to do the same thing. We had bought advertising on all 3 television stations. Because Steve Cohen called in and said that Latroy Williams is running advertisement that says the Democratic National Committee endorsed Ricky Wilkinson for Congress, which was a lie. Later on, and he set me up. See, what he did, he really set me up. He set me up with a judge by the name of Ms. Williams, you see, because they are friends. And back and forth from the legislative department, they, work together. And Ms. Williams had saw on the ballot that I had, it had something to do with Reagan and Bush and others about how bad they were and about how good President Carter was. I mean, President Carter, Clinton, and Obama. And she didn't like that. So she was prime target. So Steve Cohen knew he could get her to really harass me, to take me down. So they had a kangaroo court set up, and my lawyer didn't show up, so I had to defend myself. And the first thing she asked me, she said, well, why you got all these ballots? And she said, and I explained to her that you have Coca-Cola, you got Pepsi-Cola, you got RC Cola, you got all kind of colas. People want a choice. So that's why we have more than one ballot. So then she said, well, I said, not only that, I said, you got Burger King, you got McDonald's, you got people that need a variety, they need a different taste. So she said, well, what about this incident happened in 2010? Well, this is where all this stuff began. Van Turner was in court, and he was representing Regina Newman, Joe Towns, quite a few people, including Minerva John, but Minerva backed out. The judge allowed me to represent Barbara Carter, who's a judge now, Charlotte Draper, Bishop Emma Bates, Miss Miller, who's a judge, and myself. So I had to go against Van Turner. And at the end of the day, I was able to put Regina Newman on the stand and made Regina Newman admit that she was tearing down my signs. I put Dale Gill on the stand, made him tell the truth. The judge said to Joe Towns, look, that don't ever do this again, because he had bought a phony ballot up there showing that his father, and I love Joe Towns, but he bought a phony ballot up there saying his father was starting the Democratic Party. It wasn't true. So I produced all the ballots to the judge, and he looked at everything, and he told the Grant brothers, told Alonzo and Greg Grant, told Van, because I wanted to make sure he get this straight. He told Van to have Alonzo Grant and Greg Grant them not to use the name Memphis Democratic Club anymore. He said the Shelby County Democratic Party cannot use the name Shelby County Democratic Party on a ballot because it's owned by Latroy Williams.
So how many ballots and how many Democratic organizational names do you own?
Now we have the Shelby County Democratic Party, Shelby County Democratic Club, the Memphis Democratic Club, the Democratic Party of Tennessee, the Shelby County Republican Party, and we have the independent judges, which is a nonpartisan organization. We have about 5.
So you own all of those?
Well, you see, it's an organization.
Okay.
I'm just basically a coordinator and an advisor.
So you even own the Republican ballot?
Yes, we own the Shelby County Republican Party ballot.
Latroy, what benefit is all of these political organizations to the people in this community?
Well, I think we set out with an organization of 60 members, and then we set up the board for 12. And we decided that the best thing to do is to keep these criminals and crooks from putting out ballots, because we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to be truthful to the people, and we would pick the best people for the city of Memphis and Shelby County that we needed to organize and set up to make sure that these criminals and crooks wouldn't get these ballots and go out and collect money. See, they
So are you telling me, Latroy, like, I don't have one of your ballots here, that nobody pays to be on your ballot?
let's look at it like this, nobody pays to be on the ballot, but what they do, they go to banks and they help pay for the mail out, the printing. But nothing goes to Shelby County Democratic Club, nothing goes to the Shelby County Democratic Party.
So where the money go?
It goes for printing and advertising. And you can look at our books and our records, we have them available for everybody to look at. We have never made any money, not 1 cent. We've never made 1 cent. Every time there's an election, I've lost from $20,000 to $30,000 out of my own pocket trying to help the Democratic Party. I've done more to help the Democratic Party than anybody in the state of Tennessee. I've done more to help the Democratic Party per capita than anybody in this country. With the little I got, I've always helped the Democratic Party. But they try to claim, you see, to make it look official, that Latroy Williams had voted in the Republican Party. Well, that was the biggest lie they ever told.
So was that where the lawsuit comes in? And let me take a commercial break, and we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna speak with Latroy Williams, because everybody that goes to the polls, you got 50 folks that's gonna run to you with a ballot. I'm holding here now the Greater Memphis Democratic Club. Whose ballot is this? This is, I don't even know who this was is. This one ain't got no name on it.
You see, both ballots is against the law.
What you mean ballots are?
You cannot print a ballot, for number one, that you don't have a charter or license. Number two, you cannot print a ballot that has official on it. That's against the law. That's under 52, US 52, 30104 and 52, 30120. You can't have official on the ballot. Because
so this ballot here
is illegal by law.
It says vote early election day. Then it says official voters guide.
It's a criminal. It's a crime to do that.
So all of these ballots, you have to have a charter for.
You have to have a charter.
So you just can't go out and get you some folks some money, because I'm sure everybody paid on this one to be on here, ain't free. So you're telling me that this is an illegal ballot
It's an illegal ballot.
because it has official on it?
Because it has official on it, number one, and you don't have a license. I guarantee you don't have a license.
Somebody's asking the question. Let me go back to it. Then I gotta go to a commercial break. Oh, wait a minute, let me go to the question.
This is one of the things that
It says, and let me see. Wait a minute, let me go to it. They want to know, what are you going to do to make our community better besides running for multiple positions, and what's your plan? I'm gonna let him answer that. I got to take a commercial break, and we'll be back here on the Thaddeus Matthews Show.
One needs to know how to come to the aid
I know
of
those of you that's on these social media, especially Instagram, this ain't y'all's subject, because this is dealing with something local in Memphis, but I appreciate the few of y'all that's still remaining here.
This training, you do. If you are a parent, business owner, security guard.
This breaks the law once they put official on the ballot. Greg ran it. It's the reason why Greg and using Greg.
In this day and time of tragedy, everyone needs to know how to come to the aid of others. Mid-South Supported Living, located at 2564 Appling Road, Latroy, can provide you with that knowledge. They will teach you the art of CPR and first aid. Who needs this training?
two-shade ballot is
If
illegal.
you're a parent,
So is this
business
two-shade
owner,
ballot?
security guard,
I got
you
this one.
own or
But
work
he
in
got
a church
official,
or daycare,
number one,
then
clearing
you
out the
need to
license.
learn these
That's his
life
business right
saving
there, so.
techniques.
Red
This
grant ballot.
course is only $60
Electric
and
county
for
ballot
ages
is legal.
8
All
years
those
of
ballots is
age
illegal.
on up.
And see, I'm gonna get back on radio and tell you. I think you get a clear understanding.
2275 or go by 2564
For what, Free Brother Fly?
Appling Road, number 107.
I'm handling business. Why?
Allison Bruntley is a woman who believes in community service, having served in the healthcare industry for over 30 years. Member of the Davis YMCA's Board of Directors since 2015. Volunteer for the Save Alcee Elementary campaign. She was a delegate to the National Democratic Convention in 2016. Member of the Shelby County Democratic Party's Executive and Steering Committee from 2009 to 2017. Member of the Democratic Women of Shelby County since 2014, and her list of her commitment to the Democratic Party goes on. Now, she wants you to elect her as the Democratic State Executive Committee woman for District 29, a position that has no pay but just the reward of service to the Democratic Party. Allison says her political goal is to unite all Democrats and develop stronger, more effective leadership at the state level. So on August 2nd, vote Allison Brownlee, Democratic State Executive Committee 1, District 29. Early voting starts July 13th through the 28th. Paid for by the committee to elect Allison Brownlee.
Hello, my name is Eddie Neal. I lived in this community for more years than I care to admit. And I want to be your representative from State District 93. Our current legislator, Mr. Hardaway, is more concerned about what's happening at the Landis Center in Mississippi. There's a killing and carjacking happening right here in our city every day. There's dilapidated buildings. There's torn up this and torn up that. If you will elect me, give me your vote, I guarantee I will address all of our problems. Here's something that you haven't heard before.
These got to, someone to, you don't.
Binghamton, Cooper Young, and all the citizens of House District 93, you deserve better representation than what you presently have. You deserve more than someone who wants only to be a showboat. You deserve more than a representative who's concerned about who's singing at a concert in Mississippi. You deserve a man that is going to bring economic empowerment back to your community. You deserve a man of conviction, a man who gives his word and stands on it. A man who in 2006, the Shelby County Commission, because of his integrity, chose him to represent you in Nashville as the then representative was leaving office. So on August 2nd, vote for a strong man with a strong voice who wants to make District 93 stronger. Vote Eddie Neal, paid for by the committee to elect Eddie Neal, treasurer. There are politicians who, for their own selfish agendas, are upset with Tennessee State Senator Reginald Tate for crossing party lines and voting to make life better for all Tennesseans. Isn't it a shame that politicians care more about party politics than what's good for all the people of this state? Reginald Tate, a lifelong Memphian, has served well for 12 years and accomplished much. And much of his accomplishments is because of his willingness to work for the people and not just for a political party, such as Medicaid expansion, Tennessee Human Rights Act, the expunction of theft-related Class E felony, providing free tutoring services for grades K through 3. He passed the Second Chance Act, allowing rapid expunctions for ex-offenders. District 33, you have a representative that you can be proud of. Vote August 2nd for Senator Reginald Tate, and let him continue working for all the people.
Thank you, Free Brother Fly.
To all other politicians, that we don't care about your party politics.
This
We
is
care about
serious.
what's best for
I'm
Shelby
working.
County and the state of Tennessee. Paid for by the committee to elect Reginald Tate, Stanley Sawyer, Treasurer. The citizens of State District 29 are used to years of service by a recognizable name that they know, and that name is Ford. That was John Ford, Joe Ford, and Ophelia.
We're in commercial break,
Now,
one more
Shelby
after
County
this.
Commissioner Justin Ford
Yeah,
wants to
do
continue the
Shalandra.
legacy of service by being
Yes.
elected as the state
Do finish
senator
with,
for
Shalandra.
District
Well, that is
29.
the end of it.
Justin Ford is not just running for his name.
Huh?
He's running on his record.
Yeah, after Shalandra Ford.
In 2010, Justin was elected as the youngest member to ever be elected to the Shelby County Commission. He served as chair from 2014 to 2015. He has served on all 14 commissions.
Yes, it's on
and
Facebook
committees.
as well.
He oversaw a $1.6 billion budget, and under his tenure,
What were we
Shelby
talking about when
County
we went off?
experienced a
The ballot.
$26 billion surplus. As chairman, Justin Ford instituted a summer youth program as well as a 501c3 grant program where proceeds were made available to each of Shelby County's 13 districts. On August 2nd, vote for a name that you can not only pronounce but recognize as a name that you can trust for service. Vote Justin Ford, State Senator, District 29. Early voting starts July 13th through the 28th. Paid for by the committee to elect Justin Ford, State Senator, District 29, Joe Ford, Treasurer. Shalandra Ford wants to become your next Shelby County Register of Deeds. With 20 years of county experience, she's more than capable
I want to speak to
of
someone.
maintaining your records
Yeah.
on land
You just sit there.
transactions,
Speak to yourself.
mortgages, and tax liens. She will make sure that accurate records of titles and every other record concerning your property is kept in such a manner that you can just walk into the register's office and get what you need in a speedy and
Can't you say
professional
no?
manner.
Bye.
Shalandra Ford has a better idea on
Being
how the
stupid is-
register's office
is
should
a sin.
operate and will be accessible to all of the citizens of Shelby County.
40 seconds.
Shalandra Ford will create new innovative ideas to help educate, empower, and enlighten the citizens of Shelby County when it comes to their records. If you are a property owner in Shelby County, you will sleep better knowing that your records are in the hands of
20 seconds.
Shalandra Ford. On August 2nd, vote for the name that you can trust, Ford. Shalandra Ford. Early voting starts July
10
13th
seconds.
through the 28th. Paid for by the committee to elect Shalandra
5, 4, 3, 2.
And you've got the names of the individuals that you need to vote for. Those of you candidates that are still out there, you need to get your name out. You got 2 weeks left in this race. 2 weeks left. I'll still take your money. Okay? All you got to do, or you can do like Latroy. Y'all see that sign up there? All you got to do is call me and have some money. I don't know where all you broke ass politicians come from, and you folk who think that hell somebody just want to give y'all something. Hell, y'all don't go ask the white folks to give y'all no advertising. Because the white folk, they got their price. I try to work with you, and hell, y'all won't even call me. So I'm telling folks, don't vote for you. Okay? If you cannot bring black media your money, why should black folk vote for you? One of me, you've been friends for years. Call me. Bring me some money. You can't run off your name. Why should folk vote? See, let me give you something that's going to happen. I'm hearing folk excited because they're saying that the Democrats are outvoting the Republicans. Fine, but here's the thing you better understand. Last 16 years that I know of, the numbers have been the same because there are more Democrats than the registered Democrats than Republicans. But here's what happens, and this is where the term Dixiecrats come in. In all of your general elections for, I know, the last 12 to 16 years, white Democrats, when they get in the polls or get to the machine, they vote they vote for the white Republicans, okay? That's the way white folk vote.
True.
Okay, they're going to vote. Oh, you can be all excited about them right now. We got these numbers. See, and I don't go with polls. And I hear folk excited about the numbers the numbers only count when it gets in the booth, they don't have the booth no more, the little table thing, the little voting thing. That's where the counting comes. So don't be thinking that because you're hearing numbers that Democrats are outvoting Republicans. White Democrats will cross over as they've always done. This race will not be any different. That's the reason I'm telling you, I'm urging you to get up, go out and vote. Now I got my ballot. I ain't calling it, it's the official Thaddeus Matthews ballot. Floyd Bonner, David Lenore, Edmund Ford Jr. Why would y'all vote for Sharon Webb? Why would y'all even think about voting for Sharon Webb? I told y'all I had Sharon Webb on my TV show. She was running for the mayor after she said Jesus told her she was gonna be the mayor. She did. She was telling everybody, God said, I'm gonna be the next mayor of the city. So I was in the radio station, had a little mic in front of me. She was sitting over here. I was talking about payment in lieu of taxes, which is called the pilot program. I said as well, what do you feel about the pilot program? And she looked at me and said, Thaddeus, I didn't know we had no planes. I said, you don't get up and get your dumb ass up out of here. This is what you getting with a lot of, look, Justin Ford, he done got y'all that work for the city that was making that little money, $15. Some of y'all was making, how y'all work for the city members making $8 an hour, got you $15 an hour. Now he saved the store where Kroger's was in the Belts community is now cash saver. That was Justin Ford. He's proven himself. Give not Justin, Edmund, well, give Justin your vote too, but give Edmund, I got so many folks, give Edmund Ford Jr. your vote. Edmund Ford did this. Edmund Ford Jr., give him your vote. Then Justin, State Senate District 29. Okay, the Fords in that area have a history of service. Give Justin your vote. Y'all can't even pronounce that other girl's name. Okay, y'all can't. And see, the thing I don't like about her, when she was running the first time, she needed me. Or her and the Grant brothers, they came to me, and I gave her some advertising. She won. When she ran the second time, wouldn't even take my call. Okay, wouldn't take my call, wouldn't call back. No, we don't need no strawberries, ackleberries, no kind of berries, okay? Vote for Justin Ford. Senator Reginald Tate, vote for him. You know that girl that's running against him, Katrina, that's Cheryl Wright's sister, okay? We'll be having murder on Capitol Hill, okay? Yeah, we will. They done figure out somebody to murder on Capitol Hill. Shalandra Ford, Register of Deeds, give her your vote. Barbara Cooper, I can't say too much good about Barbara Cooper. I love Barbara Cooper to death. Yes, she 80-something years old. Yes, but every time I call Barbara Cooper is going to come to the rescue. When I need some information about something that is going on in Nashville, Barbara Cooper is always going to give me the information. Her secretary, Tamara was Hansford, whatever. Tamara gonna call me. Tamara's gonna send me an email. Vote for Barbara Cooper. Eddie Neal, I don't need to say that. Look, that Negro G.A. Holloway don't give a damn about those of you living in Orange Mound and in that part of the country, of the city, of the county. Eddie Neal, a man of integrity, give him your vote. Antonio Parkinson, vote for him, District 98. Yolanda Kite, Circuit Court Judge, what is that, 9, 4, was it 9, 14? 9, was it? 14, I believe it is. I ain't got it wrote down, it's on the commercial. Vote, when you see her name, vote for Yolanda Kite. Guys, y'all gonna vote for her because she's good looking. But not only is she good looking, she's smart. She been on the bench. She's fair, she's impartial. Vote for her. Allison Brownlee, she won one of them free positions, state executive committee person, okay? Give her your vote. Price Harris, environmental court, that's why I was talking about 14. Environmental court 14, Price Harris, vote for him in the environmental court. But Latroy, your name ain't on the ballot. How they gonna know to vote for you?
What they have to do to vote for me,
You got talking to the mic.
yes, what they have to do to vote for me, when they go into the booth, there's a little area where you write in. And all they have to do is hit that button and just type in M. Latroy A. Williams, or M. Latroy Williams. Just type it in. Simple. Take less than 30, maybe 60 seconds at the most.
Just type your name in.
Just type it in.
And for all these other races where y'all don't know who to vote for, type my name in.
Amen.
What you laughing at, Les? If you don't want to vote for Lenore Ali, type my name in. Okay? In these clerk seats, since one that don't want to, she just want to run off her name, look, type my name in. See, I done gave y'all an easy way now. Just type my name in. Thaddeus Matthews for whatever. You don't know who to vote for judge? Type my, I think I make a hell of a judge. Life. Never get out. Okay. But Latroy, let's go back, okay, to the ballots. And when I noticed, and I've been to several of the early voting sites, that when whites walk up, they don't want no ballot. Okay? They'll walk up, they say, I know who my mind is already made up. I know who I want to vote for. Why is it necessary that black folk gotta have a ballot? And when they walk in the poll, they got 10 different ballots in their hand. The damn people confused. By the time they get to the voting machine, why is it a necessity that black folk have ballots?
Number one is this. You have to look at the overall apparatus of the situation. Quite often, blacks don't get newspapers, and the TV shows they look at, it's not informative. It's not newsworthy. Thirdly, on these jobs they work, there's no information. It's all cloudy. The ballot is an institution that is put together by people in the community who cares. Now, a lot of these ballots, as I've said before, that they're not legal because they're not registered. And as Mr. Donati and Mr. Lade said, the Commercial Bureau reported back in 2014 that M. Latroy Williams has the only legitimate ballot in the state of Tennessee. So that within itself is an indication, and the Commercial Bureau is no friend of mine, but they reported the fact that all of my information was legitimate. But see, people keep talking about M. Latroy Williams. And see, this is an organization. It is chaired by Chairman M. Everett Banks. There are quite a few people on the committee, which is 12. And I'm just a coordinator and advisor. But quite often they listen to me. And as Judge Deontay Bailey said, that you all suing M. Latroy Williams, and he really doesn't have anything to do because he don't have a vote. So why are you suing him? Plus, this is a First Amendment issue. But I want to go back to one thing. The reason why the lawsuit was put in place is because it scared the you-know-what out of the white folks in Memphis when Gina Richardson ran against DeBerry. Judge Kyles, Senator Kyles ran against Memorial. And Kenny Whalen ran against this gentleman Wood. And what happened was this. Steve Cohen went and put together a ballot, which was a phony ballot, and he put all the light-skinned blacks with the whites because he had made the statement that whites in the county would not vote for a black unless there was a white on the ballot. So he put together a ballot with maybe 2 light-skinned blacks, rest of them was white, and all the other blacks he put on the back, and then put a check mark on it, which once again is an indication of a violation of the democratic process, because he violated so many angles of the democratic process and their bylaws until it's ridiculous. And when you do that and you call him on it, you see, you get mad and angry. Like I said before, because of the fact that you're standing up to the Democratic Party and make them abide by the rules and regulations that they put together themselves, they get angry. They want to do what they want to do, and you can't do that. Last but not least is this. You got people in the Democratic Party who, just like Corn filed this lawsuit against me because he wanted to stop me. His whole goal was to
So
stop me.
what was the lawsuit? Tell us about the lawsuit.
The first lawsuit was dealing with the ballots. And he felt that the ballot could make anybody win after we had won with, it was Greg Grant and his ballot and Steve Corn ballot against Latroy, Williams, and Banks. And the commercial appeal was on the side of Steve Corn and Monroe and Gina Richardson and others. And the commercial appeal had Gina Richardson 12 points ahead of DeBerry. They had Monroe 8 points ahead of Kyle. And they had Kenny Whalen 25 points ahead of Woods. And like I said, they went and paid, Greg Grant and Steve Corn. They got together and they was pushing hard against me. At the end of the day, we won. Jim Kyle won by 12 points. DeBerry won by about 13 points. Woods edged out Whaler just a little. But Steve Corn hired Carmen Johnson, paid her $12,000 to watch me all during that election. You see, he's been behind things.
I was watching you for 12,000.
He's been behind things to try to hurt me and to stop me. Even when Stanton ran. This is the truth. If it wasn't for me, Stanton would have never won his election. He knows this, his kids know this. Everybody had gave up on Stanton. Van Turner got me to go to the bank and write a check for $50,000 to help Stanton win that race against Chisholm. And the only reason I was against Chisholm at that time, not because I was against him personally.
Which one, Sidney?
Sidney Chisholm.
Okay.
I was not against him, but at the same time, he disrespected Banks, who was the chairman, and said he didn't need us. So I wanted to show Chisholm that, for number one, that we had the best thing out there no matter what. And
So you put $50,000 in the Ed Stanton's campaign?
$50,000 I spent at state campaign. $50,000 is my own money. Van went with me to the bank, Bangkok Bank, to cash a check for $50,000. See, Stan didn't have much money, but he had Steve Corn around there in the background helping him too. But Steve didn't think he was going to win. Nobody thought he was going to win. Everybody thought he was going to lose. So I said to Coleman, who was his campaign manager, the last day of the election, because the commercial deal had Chisholm had about 22 or 23 points. But we had closed the gap. And I told Coleman, I said, we closed the gap. He said, no, Latroy, he said, I don't think we can win this one. And so I said to Coleman, I said, look, I said, man, don't go to NAACP. We got to have somebody out at this community center at Hollywood. We got to have somebody out at Christ United. And he was the campaign manager, but he decided to go to the NAACP convention. I called Brett Thompson because I had hired Brett. I paid Brett $150 a day and $300 for his meeting to help Stanton every day for 14 days. And then on election day, I paid him. I told Brett, I said, look, here's what you need to do. Take your 5 men over at Coeur Lake. Make sure that you cover that area good. I paid him the night before. The morning of the election, I go and look, no place to find Brett. You see, with the money and the members. You see, he had nobody working Coeur Lake. So I finally called and got in touch with him around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And he said, Latroy, he said, we can't win this race. It's over with. He said, I said, well, do this for me. Just go and cover Wooddale. He said, no. I said, please. I said, just go and cover Wooddale. If you cover that, I'll cover White Station, and I'll get somebody to cover Hollywood, and I'll get somebody to go and cover the place out in North Memphis. That's how I get somebody to cover it. He said, okay. So I went by Wooddale. I couldn't find Brett. But me and my son, we went to Hollywood in Chelsea. And there was 2 union guys who were working for Chelsea, but they was angry because they had no food. So what I did, I went and bought them some food, and they said, well, he bought us no food, no nothing. So I said, okay, because Chelsea thought he had that race in the bag. I said, here's what I do. I said, I tell you what you charge me to work the rest of the day for Stanton? They said, yeah, we'll work. They said, give me $25. I said, I'm gonna give you 50 apiece. I said, but I'm gonna hire this guy here that I got with me to stay and watch you all and make sure you do the job. So now you got 2 workers that was working for Chilson, now working for Stanton. 3 in all. I mean, and one more would make 3. Then we leave there, me and my son, and head out toward Christ United out in Raleigh, that place out in Raleigh, the community center. We get there, and there's a guy who was working with Greg Grant, had the ballot on for Chilson. He saw us, so he thought that because we had on Shelby County Democratic Club ballots, he thought we was the same organization. He had on the Memphis Democratic Club. So he walked towards us, had all the ballots in his hand, and he handed them to me and my son. So I just took them. Didn't say nothing to him. He kept on going. So that left that area clear. You see, I knew this race was close. It was within 4 points. I kept telling Brett, and I kept telling Coleman. Coleman was going to the NAACP. Brett was out of action all the way. So I had to do this thing myself. I had to do what I had to do. But just so happened, God sent Jay Bailey. Jay Bailey. Jay Bailey drove up in a white Escalade. And he sat out there for at least 2 hours, just watching me and my son working, going back and forth. So Jay Bailey, it got around 5:30, 5:45. And this was about 3:30 going into 4 when Jay Bailey pulled up. And he got out of the car and he came and he said, look, he said, Latroy, he said, I've never seen nobody work like you in my life. I've never seen nobody work the way you work. You were working for Stanton. So me and my son, we thanked Jay, and Jay said, look, you know, I've been in business with Chilson. Me and Chilson been in business together. He said, look, he said, but the way you work, he said, you know, he said, I'm gonna vote for Stanton. Me and my wife, we wanted to vote for Stanton now. So he went in and voted for Stanton, came back out. Told his wife to go sit in the car. He took half of them ballots I had and helped me and my son win that particular area. And Stanton ended up winning by maybe 200 or 300 votes. But I'm saying that this was in the last day, and the commercial appeal had Stanton ahead. But we closed the gap and pulled this thing together and made Stanton the winner of this election. So what I'm saying is that happened, and so that made people like Corn say, hey man, we gotta stop this guy. And so he done so many things, including the AC Wharton race. He went to this guy named White, who was a manager or something of AC, a treasurer, and told him not to do no business with me. See, that's how much he's been on my case. Telling folks not to do business with me, threatening people if they do business with me. So then, like I said, during his lawsuit, what he did, he filed his lawsuit and had us in court. Then it was moved from can't think of the lady's name because the Nottingham said, well, we're not ready to go to trial. He said the commercial appeal already reported that Latroy Williams had the only legitimate ballot in the state of Tennessee. So why are we here? So after that, the case was moved because Miss Williams, she was telling them, she said, look, she said, y'all better come on and go to court now. Because if y'all don't go to court now, you ain't gonna like who's gonna come in here next. And just so happened the Lord brought Judge Young David. This is why it's so important to elect good black judges. This is why it's so important who want to be fair. Because this woman wanted to do something just to convict me of anything. And knew she was wrong. Knew she was wrong. But she just wanted to convict me. And last but not least, went to the Young Bailey court. First thing he did, this is dismissed. You know you can't tell a man who to vote for. You can't tell a man who to put on a ballot. You can't do that. He said, if I wasn't on the ballot, I would have lost myself. Then he went on to say, look, he said, then Denali and the other gentleman stopped asking the Young Bailey, well, recuse yourself. So he moved the case, but the Young said, look, I'm going to dismiss this, and then I recuse myself. So he dismissed it and recused himself, and then they took it to Judge Stokes. So when he got in the Stokes case, in Stokes court, Stokes said, well, what do you have? They said, well, we're going to bring the National Democratic Party in here against Latroy Williams. And so my lawyer objected, I had a lawyer then, he objected to it. He said, how can you bring the National Democratic Party of USA in here when it's on? And the judge said, you're exactly right. So he said, no, I don't mean the National Democratic Party, I mean the Democratic National Committee. So he gave us 30 days. So they went, but just so happened that the Justice Department and the Election Commission, they filed a complaint against me, my Steve Corn and John Merritt. You know, his some people say his boyfriend.
His what now?
Some people say it's his boyfriend.
So what now?
Some people say John Merritt is Steve Corn's boyfriend. I don't know, but I mean, that's what they call him. So
Wait a minute. You just called the congressman assistant.
Well, hey, I didn't call anything. I'm just saying some people.
Well, if he got, Latroy, if he got a boyfriend, that would make the congressman assistant, wouldn't it?
Well, let me ask you this question. What would you think if a man been on your case because of the fact that you said no discrimination against anyone in the workforce, and he think in his mind that I'm against gays and lesbians, and he been following me and following me and following me. In fact, he sent, and my wife and a lot of other people tell you the same thing. He think I hired 300 people to work in my campaign. 300 people to pay them $65.
Wait a minute, that's good. I want to go back to the part where you call the congressman assistant. Now, who you say his boyfriend is?
This is what I'm trying to make. I'm making a point here. I'm saying that I hired 300 people, okay? And they heard about it. And so what they did, they sent 52
what?
52 people that was gay and lesbians down in my campaign. They tried to corrupt my campaign. They came in and told me.
Just like Lee Harris said.
That my wife and a lot of my campaign manager and all, and I tell you who else can tell you. What's Ray, your friend Ray?
My friend Ray.
You know Ray, the barbecue man.
Oh, okay, Ray Nolan.
Yes, he told you the same thing. They did 52 people. I hired 300
52
people.
homosexuals.
Exactly. And they'll corrupt my campaign. And one day.
What is the sense I mean, what are the people, because you do it like this, what were they doing?
What I'm saying, they came in and tried to stir up things after, in fact, they told us, they said, look, Corn promised us a house. One lady told us that Corn promised her a house and promised her all kind of money. You understand? They try to flirt with me, where they can get some on me, so that I could get in trouble. See, they've been trying for the longest to plant things on me. This is the point I'm trying to make. They've been trying to plant things on me for no reason whatsoever. So in this particular case, getting back to that point, you see, they couldn't find anything. So after they couldn't find anything, they went to the Democratic Party. And I served on the committee of the Democratic Party. I served on the executive committee of the Democratic Party. They go to he hired Ms. Mancini.
She assisted too?
I don't know. But I'm just saying, he hired Ms. Mancini to go to the Democratic Party and get the Democratic Party to side with him so that he would have some kind of standing.
But who's this man that you said is the boyfriend?
Someone said John Merritt, and that's what they said to me.
Is John Merritt that little short white guy that's always with Corn?
The same gentleman that threatened Randy Wade.
Oh, yeah.
He threatened Randy Wade. The same gentleman threatened to put him in jail. So the point I'm trying to make is this. I'm saying that aside from all of that, and I'm not against gays or lesbians, I want you to understand that, but I'm saying that this is what he did because he thought that I was against gays and lesbians. And I know that's what he did. And so the point I'm trying to make to you is this, is that during that period, the Justice Department and the Election Commission wrote back and told Corn and his committee, his attorneys, that M. Latroy Williams did everything within the law. Everything he did that was right. And even if he had done what you said he had done, he still would be right.
I got to take a commercial break. Lord, we heard it first here on the That Is Man to You show. Congressman Latroy said Congressman got a boyfriend.
That's what was told to me. That's what was told to me. And that's why he was fighting so hard. See, he was the one who filed a complaint with the Justice Department against me. And that's why I learned about all these other laws, you see, and what they filed, the complaint was, is the same thing about these ballots. He said M. Latroy Williams, in the complaint, had ballots that said official. And he also didn't have a license. And my lawyer wrote back and said, I tell you what you do, look at these ballots here. He sent Grant Ballot in, he sent Brett Ballot in, he sent Steve Corn Ballot in, he sent Touche Ballot in. And every one of them had broken the law. Because none of the ballots, all of them had a fish on it, none of them had license. The only legitimate ballot, and the only ballot had license was our organization.
So you saying that the only ballot that the folk on six polls now is your ballot, is gonna be the only legal ballot?
The only legal ballot at the poll is the Shelby County Democratic Club, the Memphis Democratic Club, and the Democratic Coalition. They all got.
Which has no affiliation with the Shelby County Democratic Party.
It has an affiliation, it owns the ballot for the Shelby County Democratic Party. It has no affiliation with the Shelby County Democratic Party.
But you own the ballot.
But we own the ballot, the Shelby County Democratic Party ballot. The Shelby County Democratic Club own the Shelby County Democratic Party ballot, as you reported back in 2014. You reported that.
And this is Mr. 14. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Zeller, where you save from 50 to 80% off of
What?
retail prices every day
What?
of the week. Sleepy Z's has an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau with over 400 five-star reviews. Sleepy Z's has won the Commercial Appeals Memphis Most Best Mattress Store 3 years in a row, and voting has now started for them to win the 4th year in a row. Please do me a personal favor and vote for Sleepy Z's. It's very easy to do. Go to memphismost.com and go under shopping. Then under Best Mattress Store, you can vote once a day until July 20th. Michael has been a loyal advertiser of the Thaddeus Matthews Show for over 4 years, and we want to make this 4 years in a row that Sleepy Z's wins Memphis Most Best Mattress Store. Once again, go to memphismost.com and go under shopping, then under Best Mattress Store, and then vote for Sleepy Z's by Michael Zellner. As always, when you mention my name, when you go in, you'll get an additional 10% off their already
Let's
deeply
Sleepy Z's
discounted
change the
prices
commercial.
on mattresses, furniture, and pillows.
I'm you send both of them at the same time.
2790 Kirby Whitten Road at the corner of Summer Avenue. Next to Hollywood.
Make me another do it
We
tomorrow.
sell tools. You can call the store directly at 901-692-6200. Sleepy Z's by Michael Zellner, where you never wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Is this our membership in BMI?
Personal injury claims, settlements, appeals from juvenile court, and numerous other legal matters. You want a judge that knows the law, that's fair, that's impartial, and that's what you'll get in Yolanda Kite, who presently serves since 2015 as a Shelby County magistrate. Yolanda Kite is a graduate of Hamilton High School, Lamont Horn College, and the Cecil C. Humphrey School of Law.
Did I put on that thing published by Naked Truth Music that I gave to the graphics guy?
Personal injury, real estate, and business transactions. Yolanda Kite is more than prepared to serve the citizens of Shelby County as circuit court judge in Division 9. On August 2nd, vote Yolanda Kite, circuit court judge, Division 9. Early voting has already started and ends July 28th. You got it right when you vote Kite. Paid for by the committee to elect Yolanda Kite judge, Dana Porter, treasurer.
This is a citizen's alert. There are criminals roaming the streets of Memphis who have refused to show up for one reason or the other for court. And Clark's Bonding Company needs your help in bringing these fugitives to justice. Clark's Bonding Company will pay you a cash reward for their capture or arrest with no questions asked, and your identity will remain anonymous. So you know the whereabouts of any of these featured fugitives. Pick up your phone right now and call Clark's Bonding Company 572-7
71.
Smitty Beans, you go.
That's area code 901-572-7171. Gerard's Furniture, located at 3666 North Watkins, who's also a member of the Better Business Bureau, has furniture. Not just in tax season, but all year long, you'll find the very best in bargains, in sales, whatever you need for your home, whether it's bedroom suits, whether it's living room suits, whether it's dinette sets. Gerard's Furniture is the place to go. Let me tell you about the Fat Advance Special. This two-piece set, normally $6.99. Come in, mention my name, and get it for $4.99.
Tell Sean I said,
But you
yeah.
gotta pay cash for it.
Come in there, Gerard's Furniture, where we simply sell furniture for less.
When you look
Is
at
she
the
there
word
now
service,
with him or what?
integrity, and accessibility, the definition always comes back. State Representative Barbara Cooper of District
Okay.
86.
Uh,
Barbara Cooper works tirelessly for the citizens
Do
of
shop and
District
save
86. She returns
and
home.
bring me back.
She holds town hall meetings.
'Cause I don't think we're gonna have
She gets
time.
results, not just photo ops and brains. Not only does she sponsor legislation, but she holds community meetings to keep the citizens informed. She held a series of meetings on matters transportation.
Do shop and save and do Tiger Abundance.
Property tax assistance, meetings on drugs and crime and jobs in the district. Her record of service is undeniable, not just for District 86, but for all of the state of Tennessee. When her opponent speaks of her age, ask him, what have you done in your short life? And then tell him, I'm voting for proven service and a proven servant. Barbara Cooper has sponsored 63 bills and co-sponsored 818 bills. Vote August 2nd to re-elect Barbara Cooper, State Representative, District 86. Early voting starts July 13th. Paid for by friends of Barbara Cooper.
Hi, my name is Zoe Walls, and this is my dad, Tony Walls, the owner of Shop and Save. And we would like to personally thank you for 25 great years.
Hold on, I'm running out.
When you're looking for the best soul food in town, the only place to come, whether you're in South Memphis, whether you're in North Memphis, in fact, it's worth driving all the way across town. Shop and Save, 1499 South Third, where you can get some of the
Bring me back after this.
breakfast, lunch, or dinner, right
Les.
here. Okay, in fact, I think I'm gonna take time out right now, give you use turkey wings, use candy yams, give you some of the Dalton beans, give you some of that taba. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, you need to do just like me. Come on down to Shop and Save.
40 seconds.
1499 South Third, celebrating 25 years of doing business in the food.
Shop and save, when you open it out, time just right, double before 8, don't be late. I'm really gonna say I stand members, I don't plan members. Appreciate you being, come and see me, come on down.
20 seconds. Seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back. Early voting is going on. The official Thaddeus Matthews ballot is official with me. Floyd Bonner, David Lenore, Edmund Ford Jr., Justin Ford, Reginald Tate, Shalandra Ford, Barbara Cooper, Eddie Neal, Antonio Parkinson, Yolanda Kite, Allison Brownlee, Latroy Williams, and Price Harris for Environmental Court Division 14. Any of you other politicians, you want to get your sign up here on the stage, and see his commercial been on all of the show. You see his name, you want to do that? You know what's going? Is it? Hell no, it ain't free. Call me 435-6161. That's the church number. I won't get in unless you got my other numbers. you can call me on them. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Okay, yeah, I'll be in the office by, by 1. I'll be in the office by 1. So, but if you got my other number, call me. And some of you candidates, y'all know y'all need to get your name out there. You ain't got no earthly chance of winning if you don't get your name out. I'm good for at least 10 to 12 to 20, 25% of your vote that you're going to need, especially if you are in a district race. This is the most watched show. Y'all may hate me, but y'all watch me. That's all I care, that I'm able to go to the bank. That's all. So politicians, you need to go on board. If you got my number tonight, call me. David Lenore, I'd like to have you on the show. Let me close out though. What is it you want? I got about 2 minutes left. What is it that you really want to bring home in the time that we have left?
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, neighbors, and statesmen, lend your ears for just one moment, and I want you to understand that I didn't come to bury anyone. I did come to praise. That is Matthew's show, for allowing me this opportunity to come before you and present my evidence. Let me just say this. Black people have struggled for a long time. But I want you to know that I'm unique and prepared to bring a perspective of this community that no other politicians could ever fulfill. However, your support is needed to help keep this objective viewpoint alive that we can believe in as a people. After 400 years of dwindling in circles, where we gain in quantities and the quality of our people is deteriorating, it is time to change. If I'm elected, ladies and gentlemen, remember, over the past 15 years, I've saved over 20,000 people homes and businesses from tax sales. I want to be your congressman so I can bring the vacant home and bring back some of the beef. If I'm elected, again, I take Mud Island and turn it into an international trade center, which will create 72,000 new jobs. President Obama left $4 trillion for the green jobs operation. $4 trillion is 1/4 of the GDP of the American productivity. If I'm elected, I would take that $4 trillion and get a portion of it and bring it to Memphis and turn President Island into a green jobs operation, which will create another 50,000 jobs, paying from $30 to $200 an hour. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, a politician is a politician, and a politician is a public servant. That means his or her job to serve the public and not their own selfish interests. If I'm elected, I'll take the politics away from the politicians and bring the politicians back to the people as a public servant the way it should be. So if you want this city to move up quick, vote for M. Latroy, Alexander Williams, and make it stick. Thank you.
All right, I got to get out of here. Y'all heard my ballot. Y'all got to vote tomorrow. Floyd Baum, David Lenore, Edmund Ford Jr., Justin Ford, Reginald Tate, Shalandra Ford, Barbara Cooper, Eddie Neal, Antonio Parkinson, Yolanda Kite, Allison Brownlee, Latroy Williams, Price Harris, Environmental Court Division 14. If you get to a spot and you don't want to vote for nobody, type my name in, okay? I might even win some, who knows? I could be your judge on the bench. You have to have a law degree, don't you? Okay. I could be a clerk. I'll give you some jobs. You know, clerks have a lot of jobs they give away too. Just don't vote for me for the shirt, because I want y'all to get Floyd in there. Okay, I'll be the county mayor. I'll change some things around here. I gotta get out of here. Look, thank you so very much for being a part of the show on tonight. And I know, see, the numbers drop when you're giving good information, but that's all right. On social media, they didn't know what the hell we were talking about. No way here in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll be back tomorrow night. Until then, top of the evening to you. Thank you, sir.
Office of Attorney Durrell J. O'Neill. Attorney O'Neill, experienced attorney who has laid foundations of years of dedication in the community. At the law office of